Hello and welcome to another video. I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be talking about the theory test. I'm going to give you lots of tips to help you, hopefully, to pass first time. Now, some people prefer to do their theory test well before they start their driving lessons and get it out of the way. That's one hurdle out of the way. Whereas other people prefer to do it along with their driving lessons so that if they have an issue, the instructor will be able to help them. That makes no difference at all whether you do your theory before your lessons or after your lessons. But obviously, due to the current situation that we're in, the lockdown, you're not able to take any driving lessons at the moment, so you might as well use this time to study for the theory test instead. However, what you do have to remember is a theory test must be passed before you can even book a practical driving test. Once you've passed your theory test, it's valid for a full 2 years, so you don't have to worry about it expiring all of a sudden. Now, when you book your theory test, it is vital that you book it on the government website, gov.uk. There are a lot of dodgy websites out there that will charge you extra money just for the privilege of using their website. One or two websites will even try to entice you with a free retest or something of that sort. However, if you look at the terms and conditions of these websites, you will find that it's almost impossible to make a claim. Okay, so let's assume your theory test is booked. How do you study for it? There's lots of material that you can get. You can get books, physical books, from W.H. Smith's or any other bookshop. You can get apps on your phone, free apps on your phone. Some people prefer to study all the question bank. There's a bank of approximately 1,000 questions. Some people prefer to study the whole question bank. Other people prefer just to do mock test after mock test after mock test. The choice is entirely yours. Whatever method suits you. There is no right, there is no wrong method. So any method that suits you, do it. But as you're in the lockdown, you might as well take advantage and study for your theory test. Once you've studied for the theory test, make sure you attend at the test center at least 15 to 20 minutes before the start of the test. If you are late for the test, you will not be permitted to do the driving test, the theory test. And please take your provisional driving license with you. Without your provisional driving license, the test will not get conducted. They will not accept photocopies, they will not accept a picture on your phone, and they will not accept any other identification. The theory test will last an hour, well, 57 minutes to be precise. When you start the theory test, read the questions properly. It's vital that you read the questions. Most people who fail the theory test, they fail for not reading the question properly. If you get stuck on a question, if you're not sure of it, whether you're right or wrong, whether you have the slightest doubt, there's a flag underneath the screen. Press the flag, just hit the button, hit the flag, and those questions that you have flagged up will come up at the end of the test. So any remaining time you've got, you can go through the flagged questions. There is also an end button. I actually knew someone who failed that theory test. Basically, the person got 1 out of 50. What he did was he went for his theory test and he answered the first question correctly and then hit the end button, and the theory test had finished and he had scored 1. So whatever you do, don't hit the end button until you've completed the questions, you've completed the flagged questions, and you are happy with it. As I said, the theory test is 57 minutes long, an hour long, which is plenty of time. However, if you have a learning difficulty, for example, like dyslexia, you can get an extension. They'll extend your time by an extra 15-20 minutes should you require that. Now, as I said, most people who fail the theory test fail because they do not read the question properly. Here's an example. 3 cars at a junction. Which cars have priority? Now, by looking at the picture, the blue car is coming out of the minor road, so the blue car does not have priority. So you may think that it would either be car A or car C, and a lot of people would tick car A or car C. However, if you read the question properly, it does not say which car has priority, it's which cars have priority. So the correct answer would be both A and C. Here is another example. It actually says, once you're on a zebra crossing, you should. However, if you read this quickly, you may read it as you're approaching a zebra crossing, you should. So it's very easy to misread the questions unless you read them slowly and carefully. So on this particular one, once you're on a zebra crossing, you should allow pedestrians to cross, but rev your engine so they hurry up. Well, that's definitely not right, because you do not want to be revving your engine and harassing pedestrians. The second answer, stop and wave pedestrians to cross. You're already on the zebra crossing, so you don't want to be stopping. And even if you are not on the zebra crossing, even if you are approaching the zebra crossing, you must not wave pedestrians across. So let's have a look at the third one. Never stop unless there is an immediate danger to pedestrians, cyclists and other motorists. Now, that's the correct one, because you're already on the zebra crossing, so you do not want to be stopping on the zebra crossing itself. If you need to stop, you need to stop before the zebra crossing at the giveaway lines. Let's move on to the last question. You are driving an ordinary car along the motorway. Can you enter this HOV lane? Firstly, HOV stands for High Occupancy Vehicle. So they've given us 4 answers. Yes, but you must be carrying at least 2 passengers. Yes, but you must remain in the lane for at least 2 miles. Yes, at any time. And the last answer, yes, but you must be carrying at least 1 passenger. Now, most people, if they're in a hurry, they would look at the picture and see that there are 2 people in the vehicle. So they will automatically assume one of the first top 2 answers are correct. So it'll be yes, but you must be carrying at least 2 passengers, or yes, but you must remain in the lane for at least 2 miles. However, the picture two picture includes the driver. So it's the driver plus at least one passenger. So there must be two of you in the vehicle. So the correct answer is the last one. You must be carrying at least one passenger to be in the HOV lane. After you have answered all the questions and you are happy with it, including the flagged questions, then you can hit the end button. Once you've hit the end button, you will get some clips, hazard perception clips. You'll get some sample ones, but you don't have to do the practice run. You can do them if you want to, or you can go for the real thing. The hazard perception test will last 15 minutes. We have a separate video on the hazard perception test, which is not uploaded at the moment, but it will be uploaded next week. And once it is uploaded, you'll be able to, the link will be coming up on the screen now. I hope you found this video informative. If so, as usual, please give it the thumbs up, as it helps us to make more videos. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.